Thank you, Sarah. And now we turn to side anchor Audrey Milo for an update on UCSC's progress in combating global warming.
In a project began by County Treasurer Fred Keeley 13 months ago, the university, the city, and the county pledged to reduce each institution's carbon footprint. And according to Chancellor Blumenthal's just released one-year Climate Action Compact report, UCSC has been very successful. 1,100 light fixtures in student housing were replaced with energy-saving lights, saving about 90,000 kilowatt hours of electricity a year. Car trips on campus are at a 10-year low, equivalent to the number of car trips in 1998, even though enrollment has increased by 50%. Also, energy efficiency projects implemented at UCSC in 2004 have lowered campus CO2 emissions by approximately 1,600 metric tons by cutting annual electricity consumption by 2.8 million kilowatt hours. We should expect more energy-conscious changes to be taking effect at UCSC in the near future. According to Keeley, the compact is just the beginning of the transition to move Santa Cruz away from the carbon economy to a new green economy of the 21st century. Back to you, Joanne.
You know, Lindsay, I believe a story on feminism is long overdue here at BSN.
I would have to agree.
So what better way to end tonight's show than with a farewell story for beloved feminist studies professor?
Sounds like an excellent idea, Joanne. And for this, we turn to BSN reporter Jessica Rumble.
Each fall, 500 students enroll in Bettina Aptheker's Introduction to Feminism class at UCSC. The class is always full and the waiting list is always long. Upon hearing that this is her last quarter teaching it, I decided to take a look into what made her class such an enriching and eye-opening experience.
Can I hear you say no? No. Can you say it a little bit louder? No. Now, can you say no without smiling? Well, I came to UC Santa Cruz as a graduate student, and I had 2 small children, and so I needed to work while I was doing my studies, and I began teaching back then, and I really liked it here, and we were called women's studies then, so it was in the late 70s, early 80s, and we were very welcoming, and I started teaching the program, and then one thing led to another, and I saw no reason to leave, and I didn't want to move my children again, and so I stayed.
She talks about the movement she's been a part of in Berkeley, and she knows Angela Davis, who was like my hero pretty much, and gosh, I just wish I can have like a life that's just half as cool as hers pretty much. I mean, you have this concept of what history is and what they've taught you in class, but then with this feminist class I've taken, it's shattered that. You learn all this stuff that you think they're not wanting to tell you for a particular reason, and it's so cool.
Yeah, she's a really eloquent speaker. I mean, she really knows how to get her point across. You definitely learn a few things when you take the class with her.
Well, Horowitz published this book called The 101 Most Dangerous Professors in America, and there were 2 of us at Santa Cruz who rated his list, and it was myself and Angela Davis, and I feel very proud to have been included. His idea of what's dangerous and my idea of what's dangerous are quite different. Everything in that little section about myself is factually wrong. It's amazing. And so the inability to get even the simplest detail correct is really quite striking.
I don't understand how Bettina can be one of the most dangerous professors. She's a really nice person, and she practices meditation, and she's very forgiving, and she's just a really nice person.
I come out of lecture a little more riled up each time. I learned something completely new and interesting. The course has just been, it's been amazing. Like, every day I learn something new.
I think what I've enjoyed most about the course is just like what she has to say and just her interpretations about all these like wide array of topics. We've gone over like the history of women, like anger within women, economic injustice.
It's so tuned into like my everyday life now, not just like in the future in my career. Like every single day I think about this kind of stuff that she's talking about. She's like a piece of history standing in front of you that you can just like look at and say, oh my gosh, I took her class.
So if it's the environment, if it's economic justice, if it's the prison system, if it's domestic violence, if it's, rape and the politics of rape and the, violence against women that way, if it's war, just go for it. Wherever you are, you're gonna bump into everybody else, because everything is so completely intertwined. So what matters most is what you're passionate about.
And for those of us who didn't get a chance to catch Mrs. Aptheker teaching the Introduction to Feminism course, one of her former students, Eric Zamos, made a 17-disc DVD compilation of her 2003 course. I'm Jessica Rumble from Banana Slug News. Back to you in the studio.
And with that, we at Banana Slug News bid you farewell for tonight. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to check us online at bananaslugnews.org.
We will see you here in 2 weeks, same place, same time for our final fall episode. Till next time, I'm Lindsay Heimgartner.
And I'm Joanne Lowe. Good night, everyone.